This is part 3 of the 4.2 notes on area, and it's the same problem. I still have this function f of x equals a negative x squared plus 5, and it's, I'm determining the area under the curve from the interval 0 to 2, and this time I'm going to use 100 rectangles. So let's take a look. What's the width of each rectangle? Well, I have 100 of them. Excuse me, so it's 2 minus 0, right? That's the length. That's b minus a over 100, which is my number of rectangles. So I have 2 over 100, which is the same as 0.02. And the way I'm calculating that, I'm going to kind of have a general term here, that the width of my rectangle, the width is calculated as b minus a, and b is my right-hand number and a is my left-handed number, and it's the length of my interval divided by n, which is my number of rectangles. So now what's the height? Well, the height is going to change. It's going to change on the function. So if I use right corner, the first one that's going to go in there is 0.02. The next height is going to be 0.04. So I'm moving to the right and I'm increasing each time, and the next one is going to be f of 0.06, and it's going to go on that way. So I can say that the general term of my height is 0.02i, and I is going to go from 1 to 100. So I'll have 100 heights. My last one is going to be 0.02 times 100, which would be 2. All right? So how would I compute the area of these? Well, I'm going to have I'll write it this way first of all. I'll write my height, 0.02, times my width, which is 0.02, plus f of 0.04 times 0.02, plus f of 0.06, these are my heights, times my width, 0.02. And I'm going to keep doing that. And eventually I'll get down to the last two, which is f of 1.98 times 0.02, and my last one is going to be f of 2 times 0.02. Alright? So there would be 100 areas. Here's the first one, here's the second one, here's the third one, here's the 99th one, here's the 100th one, and they're with a bunch in between. So it's a lot easier to write that in summation notation. It's going to be I equals 1 to 100. Now, what's my function? My function is a negative. What am I putting in there? I'm putting in that 0.02i. And I'm squaring that, and then I'm adding 5 to it, and I'm multiplying. This right here is my height, and I'm multiplying it by the width, which is 0.02. Okay? How would you compute that explicitly? Alright, so that's what I'm going to do now. So I've got this summation of I equals 1 to 100. And I'm going to multiply this out, and I've got these brackets, and I'm going to have a negative 0.0002i squared plus 0.1. Oops, not 0.1. Plus, let's see if I can delete that. Plus 5. I'm getting a little bit too far ahead of myself. Times 0.02. And now if I distribute that, I have the summation of I equals 1 to 100 of a negative point. Well, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6i squared plus 0.1. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a negative 0.00012345 summation I equals 1 to 100 of I squared plus I equals 1 to 100 of 0.1. Oops. Let me fix this up. Now this would be the easiest. That's just a product, so it's 100 times 0.1, which is 10. And over here I'm going to have a negative 0.000002 times. Alright, this is going to be 100 times 101 times 201 divided by 6. Okay, so I'm going to bring that out to my calculator, because that's quite a bit for me to figure out. Let's smooth this in a little bit. I don't think I need all this. See if I can move this just a tad. Okay, let's execute. A negative point. How many zeros again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 times 100 times 101 times 201 divided by 6 plus 10. And I get, I'm hoping that's right. I think that's a little high. Let me just check one thing. 0.02 squared times 0.02. Oops, I might not have had enough zeros in here. Times negative 1 times 100 times 101 times 201 divided by 6 plus 10. Ah, there I go. That's what I wanted. This, I multiplied this wrong. I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I must have did some multiplying wrong, and I should get 7.292 is my answer here. So there must be some multiplication I didn't catch later on, but I think you've got the idea, because when I square that and multiply by that, I should get more than what I thought of. 0.0002 times 0.02 4 5 6 0.02 times point. Just what you want to watch me doing math. 4. Oh, for one thing, that should be an that's my problem. There should be a 4, and then this should be an 8. And this should be an 8, and that's my problem. That's where I'm making my mistake. I'm not multiplying by 2. So now we get the correct answer if we go through that. Alrighty. Well, my answer is 7.292.